Here it is. That's my Gold's Gym treadmill, and the model is the Trainer 410. We'll try to document my whole process of building it up. I saw online that it's supposed to be a big ordeal, and let's see how it's gonna go. Here's the box opened. Just open it, and comes with a manual right at the top, and now I'm going to spend time reading it. Okay, I decided that would be relevant to say that this all the parts are very taped up. Every time you try to lift something, then you encounter another piece of tape. So grab a little knife and start cutting the tape before you can even take the stuff out of the box. They said that assembling the treadmill would be a two-man job, but I'm very stubborn and I'll try to do it by myself. There is a big part of the treadmill that comes already assembled, and it's the heaviest. I think that's why they suggested that I would get help in order to assemble it. And I decided that the best way to take this bigger part out of the box would be to lift the box sideways and then carefully remove it. So that's the way I decided to do it, and let's see. If I tried to lift it up in many different ways, and it would not work. So I came up with this system, and I grab the box with my hand here, and with the other hand I pull it from the bottom, lift it up and pull it from the bottom, because if you try any other way, treadmill tends to get stuck to the inside the box, and I was having a hard time getting it out, but I think that now I have accomplished it. I did it. I had to use the same technique on the other side, and this thing finally came out of the box, and I didn't have to ask anybody to help me. Did it all by myself. The bigger part that I took out of the main box had a bunch of stuff underneath it. So this is the stuff that I found underneath it. Okay, so this is the main thing. The heaviest part comes already assembled. Now I'm removing the plastic, and I decided that the best way would be to rock it back and forth and pull the plastic carefully. Okay, I brought the main part down, and according to the manual, these two metal parts here, they're just here to for transportation, and I'm supposed to remove these screws on this side and also on the other side in order to finish assembling the machine. And I'm just going to have to discard the screws. They are not going to be used on assembling the machine. They're only here for transportation. The treadmill not only comes with all the parts, obviously, but it also has the screws and most of the tools that you're going to need. The only other tool you need that they don't provide is a Phillips screwdriver. Everything else is here. Okay, so I got this tool out of the packaging they provided, and I realized that in order for me to take the screws out, I would have to lift this thing back up. And so this part of the treadmill is now up the way it was before, and it was a little out of balance, so I pulled this thing down in order to keep it in balance while I'll be working on the screws. But be careful not to pull it too farther, because this metal part might damage this corner of your treadmill. So just open it up just a little bit, just so it stays balanced, and then you can work on the screws. I just got this thing out, and that's the metal part that I just took out, and here are the screws. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to discard them because I'm not going to need them anymore. So, but I have to flip this thing around in order to take the screws from the other side. When I flipped this bigger part on this side, and it became for some reason more unstable. Looked like it was, if I left it by its own device, it would just fall. So now I'm stepping on it while I work on the screws. You may have to do it when you unscrew it too. Just in case you were wondering, I removed the larger tool, the one on top here, to unscrew the screws that come with this for traveling, and I use the shorter part of the L to take the screws out. Okay, I flipped my machine around so it would be better lit up for the video, and my next step is to cut this thing here in order to get this wire out. In order to release this wire is going to go all the way to the console that I will assemble in a few minutes. I had to put the treadmill again on the side because the wire that I just let loose is going to have to go through a hole here. Let me see if I can put my hand on it and show you where. There's a hole here, yeah. And the wires, these wires, this is the wire and the ground wire. They're both gonna have to go through this hole, and they'll come out here. That's kind of silly, but this head here doesn't fit into the hole, so there's no way I can go through this without cutting the corners of this with a knife. So that's what I think I'm gonna have to do in order to make this thing go through the hole. Kind of silly. They made this mistake of putting this thing that's so thick, or making the hole too small for this to go through. Okay, it turned out not to be a big deal. Once I trimmed the corners with a knife, it went through the hole easily. It just took me like a minute. Just get a sharp knife and cut the corners, trim the corners a little bit in the front and in the back, and you'll be okay. Okay, I put the whole wire through the hole, including the ground wire, and now I'm going to put the finishing knob here. And I've noticed that this thing, once it's plugged in, it can't be removed, so I hope I'll be putting it the right way. This square plug here has a little edge here. It has to go first in order for you to fit it in. It's very easily and intuitive. I don't know why they made it like that, but I heard a few tiny clicks, so now this thing is in place. Let's go to the next step. Okay, now it's time for you to attach the ground wire on this little hole here. According to the manual, you're supposed to get a screw number 8, which is this one here, which is a 1/2 inch ground screw. that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, this screw was surprisingly hard to screw in, at least at the beginning, and then after a while it loosened up, but now it is tight and making the ground for the treadmill. Okay, so now it's time for me to put this through the side arm of the treadmill, the right side arm. The problem is that foolishly I made a little mistake. This thing comes with a tie around the neck of the wire, and it was bothering me because I needed to put this wire through the hole, so I simply cut it. I didn't understand why this thing would be here, so but luckily I have more of these ties at home. I didn't have to go out to buy it, so not a big mistake. It turned. Okay, now that I have a new tie in place, according to the manual, you have to cut this pretty close here. So that's what I'm gonna just cut it. I think that's what you need to do. Now you get the right upright arm, and you find out which one is which, because there's a label here, right? And that's the one we are gonna have to unwrap. Okay, so I unwrapped it, and this is the wire that I'm gonna have to tie onto this and bring this thing up all the way by pulling this wire from the top, and that's how it's gonna go. That's how it's supposed to work. Let's see if I can do it with much trouble. Okay, I just put 2 knots here and on the lead wire, and I put it under this white tie, and I actually tightened the tie a little further because I don't want the tie to slip up and start putting pressure on the smaller wires. I think that's the reason why this thing is here, just so if the lead wire start pulling this and the wire gets stuck in the middle, you have to put a little more pressure in order to get it loose. This process won't damage the smaller wires, the smaller connectors. That's the reason why the white tie is here. Okay, so let's see if you. What I'm doing is with my right hand pulling the wire, pushing the wire in, and with my left hand pulling the wire out, so there's no stress on the wire and on the place where it is being tied. Let's see if there was no trouble. I pulled the wire all the way up here. Now I'm gonna have to do a little move around in order to get this thing out through the hole. Not a big deal at all. It took me like 5 seconds to take this through the hole. Now it's time to screw this upright right arm to the main part of the treadmill. See how it works. I thought it would be a good idea to use the box cover to help do the assembling. So I am leaning the upright arm on the box so I can do the screwing. Maybe you can use the same technique. I put the machine sideways again, and also when you're putting it into its appropriate place, obviously be careful not to pinch the wire, and also if this thing is in its right position, it's going to fall into a slot. So once you have it in its right place, it's not going to move sideways. So that's how you find out whether you have this piece in its right place or not. Okay, now it's time to continue assembling the treadmill. Now it's time to screw the upright arm and up left arm, and we're gonna use the screws. The screws are the 3/8 inches by quarter screws, number 2. We're gonna use all 6 of them, and they come with they have to be screwed in with washers, and the washer is this black one, and it's 3/8 inches star washers, number 3. Okay, let's continue and finish the thing up. Already screwed in. Okay, this is the washer, and it had, if you rub your finger on this side, you see that this side is smoother, and this one has the sharper edges of the teeth, the inside teeth of the washer. So this sharper side goes down on the treadmill, and the smoother side goes against that screw. So let's do it the right way. Here it is. That's how it goes, with the sharper edges going downwards and the smoother surface going against the screw. Okay, and according to the manual, you're supposed to screw in the top, because this machine is upside down. That's the top screw, and you're supposed to tighten, but don't tighten too hard, because according to the manual, we're going to tighten everything up much harder afterwards. For some reason, it should not be very tightened right now. Okay, and to tighten the screw, I'm still using the same screw that I used to remove the metal plates before, so I haven't used the other tool yet. Still using the same one. It's pretty odd. The screws on the left side went in very easily, as opposed to the right side. On the right side, I had to put a lot of muscle into it. The left side, I could have screwed with my own bare hands. So here it is, and now let's go to the console. According to the manual, I'm going to have to screw the handles first, and they're supposed to be, I believe they're in this box. So let's open it up and start building the. Okay, I was right, they were in the box. So okay, the manual calls it handrails, and I'm supposed to start with the right side, and it has the label there. This is the right side handrail. Okay, there's no way you can get confused with the handrails, because the right side has this side hole here for the wire. So that's the right side because it has the side hole. They both have a hole on the bottom, but only the right one has a hole on the side. Okay, I removed the wire that was tied to here, and I pulled the wires through the bottom hole out to the side hole. So that's how the right handrail is supposed to be connected. So let's continue. The wire coming out through. Okay, in order for me to attach the handrails, we'll have to use from the top this larger screws here, the 5/16 by 3 inches screws, number 7, one on each side, one on the top of the handrail, on the right handrail, and this other one on the top of the left handrail. And they all go with star washers. This star washers here in the middle, the 5/16 inches star washers, and number 6. And I'm gonna have to also use this smaller screws here, one on each side. They're gonna go from the bottom of the handrail, and they will also use the same washer, the star washer here. the Star Wash 516 number 6. The screws, the smallest screws, are the 516 by 3/4 inches screws, number 5. Okay, the manual said that you would have to have someone helping you and holding this handrail into place so you could screw it. This is really not necessary. The handrail stays in place and balances itself into place easily, so you don't have to require help. So just wanted to say that the washers, these washers are different from the previous ones, and this one, it doesn't matter which way you put them. There's no right way, so just put it in and screw it. This is the longer screw. It's going to come through the top, and again they keep saying that on the manual that you don't have to tighten it. You should not tighten it very hard. Okay, and the other one goes on the bottom hole here, so not a big deal. You can do it easily all by yourself. To tighten the screws, I'm still using the same tool. I haven't used the other one, a smaller one, and now I'm not using the shorter part of the L, which is a little thicker. I'm using this top part here from the longer side of the L, and it's a little smaller, and that's the one that fits on the top screw as well as in the bottom screw. Okay, now on the left side, and again I just put the handrail in its place, and it is balancing itself, so no need for another person helping. And I'm gonna put the screws. Remember not to tighten it very hard. According to the manual, you're not supposed to right now. Okay, now it's time to assemble the console. It's all wrapped and taped up, so let's unwrap it. Here it is. That's the console. That's all unwrapped. So now it's time to turn it around, and we're gonna have to unscrew these two screws here. There are only two, one here, another one here. These screws also are going to be discarded. Yeah, I just unscrewed it, and these are the screws that are going to be discarded. And this is the part that I removed. There's a bunch of wires, so let's see where they fit. Okay, so I got this part out, and I found out that this is supposed to go screw there and here, and this thing's, in order for it to go down, you have to pull the handrails apart, and now I know why the bottom screws should not be too tight, because then it would be harder for you to pull the handrails apart in order to fit this part here. So now it's time to remove these two screws so we can put this thing here. Okay, I just removed the screws on both sides, and this part into its appropriate place. We're gonna have to use other screws. So these screws that I just removed with my Phillips screwdriver, they're going to be discarded. Okay, what the manual calls the console crossbar, which is the metal bar that we're going to screw in, they need this screws here, and in my opinion they look just like the ones I removed. I don't know why we have to discard the other ones, but whatever. So the screws that you're going to be using are the 10 by half an inch screws, and number 8, and they have to go with this washer number 10 star washers. Okay, now it's time for you to tighten these screws, this screw, and this screw on the bottom. They should be tightened now. Okay, Okay, now it's time to put the console on top of the treadmill. It shouldn't be a big deal because the console is all made in plastic, it's pretty light. Okay, now it's time to attach this knob to this upper part here, and also there are two wires that we're gonna have to attach down here. And they also said that on some treadmills there are two screws here, maybe here, that you should remove in this car. On mine, they were not here, so no worries. So I more or less put it on top, but I haven't forced it into its proper place because I still need to attach the wires. Okay, according to what I understood here, this is supposed to go like this. This is facing upwards, and this is facing upwards with a little. Okay, so now this plug is hooked up where it's supposed to be, and I also plug this thing in. Now it's time to tuck this part in, push it in, and also when you connect this, there is a, if you can see it. Okay, so this protrusion here, this plastic thing here, this is gonna go on a hole. This hole right here, there's a hole. This thing have to be connected, and you have to push the wires in here and put that wire away. So let's see if I can connect this thing the right way. Now there is this big gap here. It has to go all the way down. Okay, one thing that I have noticed when I'm putting this thing together is that this part here tends to hit the edge of the metal. So we have to pull it out so it sits like this. The other side also has the same problem. This part, the plastic part, is hitting on the top of the metal here. So okay, so now I'm sitting down on this wire sticking out, so I have to tuck it in so we can finish. Okay, everything seems to be sitting perfectly. The seams are not so far away. Looks like with the screws everything will be just fine. So once you have it the console placed into its right place, you shouldn't see a big gap here. Okay, now the manual is saying that we are supposed to attach 10 screws at the bottom of the console. They're supposed to be the 3/4 8 by 3/4 screws. They don't have any washers, and they're supposed to be number 4. So here it is, number 4, 10 screws, and they're Phillips screws, so it's not gonna be tough. And also they don't have any washer. So okay, I finished putting all 10 screws. It's like one goes here, another goes up here, then there is one here in the corner, one here, 2 in the middle, here, 2 more here, and 2 more here. So all screws are in and tight. It took me a little while because the screws they don't go in very easily, and it involved a little bit of elbow grease. So, but now everything is firmly attached, so it should work. There is still one little box here. Supposed to have a, what they say on the manual was a latch housing, something like that. And I'll see what is inside, and also two dumbbells are supposed to be inside of this little box. So let's open. Here it is, 2 dumbbells, I think at 2 pounds, and this is a latch that's supposed to be tightened on the side of the left bar. So let's screw it in and use the last 2 screws that we have here. I don't even need to read the manual because there's the only 2 screws left, and so okay, I just screwed it in. There's 2 screws, one on top and the other on the bottom, with 2 last screws that were there. So this thing comes already assembled, there's no need to assemble it. So it's just screw it in. So let's see how it works. Okay, that's how it works. If you're tired of doing exercise and you want to get some extra space, this is how this latch attaches to the bar part when it's lifted up. It's not much of a space saver because it still takes up a lot of room, but better than nothing. Okay, my treadmill is fully assembled, and now it's time to tighten up these 3 screws here on either side. As if you remember, or if you follow the instructions, these screws are not supposed to be fully tightened when you first assemble it, but now it's time to tighten it up. And if you forgot to tighten anything, now it's time to tighten everything up before you turn the machine on. Okay, I finished tightening it up, and the manual suggests that you remove the plastic. The manual suggests that you remove this plastic, and everything is tightened and okay, so ready to plug it in and start it. Okay, I plugged it in. Now I need to put this on-off button on the reset position. Okay, it's already turning on because I have the key here. It's the key that came on the same envelope as the manual. So I pulled the key, so the red button showing there is looking like it's going to turn off. Now we need to unwind this rope here from the key. The key is like a magnet that's supposed to be placed here on this little hole, and when the key is on top of this hole, the machine turns on, and we're supposed to tie this little rope, black rope here, on our own waist. So if we ever fall or if we faint or something like that, the machine will go off automatically. So that's how it works. So let's unwind this. Okay, so I tied a knot on the clip, and it's like a foot long, and now the key is in, and in order for me to start my first steps on the machine, I should just press the go button. It's supposed to, yeah. This machine is going like 1 mile per hour. If you want to go faster, you press the plus button. That's 1 mile per hour. And now it is important to note, if I stepped out, too far from the console, and I ended up accidentally pulling the key, and that's alright. But as part of assembling the machine, we're gonna have to make sure that this part of the treadmill is not going sideways, and there's an adjustment. And I think that last tool that we never used. This tool is supposed to allow us to do a fine adjustment on this part of the treadmill, so it doesn't go sideways or get too loose. Okay, so you're supposed to put the keys here and tighten on one side if it's going to the other side, and vice versa. And I believe that my treadmill was properly adjusted from factory, so I'm not gonna mess with it. If I see, however, in the future that the treadmill is this part is going towards one side more than the other, then I'll come back here and do the adjustment with this last tool, okay, that we never used. So there it is. That's the end. The machine is on, it's working. And what else? If you want to do some exercise, you just have to press the go button or press the plus sign in order to increase the speed. And if you want to go a little faster, you don't want to press like 10 times the plus button, you can go straight to a number, and the machine will slowly grow in speed until it reaches the number you selected. You can go up to 10 miles per hour. So it's a pretty okay speed. And there are some preset exercises here, and I'm gonna have to read the manual to understand it a little better. But I think that this part you guys can go and do it on your own time. So if you wouldn't mind leaving a comment on this video, I would appreciate it. If you can leave a video comment, it would be cool too. Okay, that's it. I'm happy. It took me just 2 hours and a half to finish building the machine, and it was not really all that hard, and I didn't need any help. So I'm happy with it, and yes, I'm having my own treadmill, and hope I'm gonna lose a few pounds. Good luck with your Gold's Gym treadmill if you bought it and wanted to assemble it, or if you didn't. I think it's an okay treadmill, and it's a good value. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.